Tonight on Connecticut's news station, the controversy around banning books reaches one town in our state. The battle over 2 books containing LGBTQ content.
Also, a judge rules Hartford cannot move forward with development plans around Duncan Park. What's next for the city?
From summer heat to summer thunderstorms, we'll time it out in the cooler changes that follow.
Plus, a car goes off a bridge and into a river in one Connecticut city. Find out how the driver escaped safely.
And as Congress tries to avoid a historic default, how a deal to raise the debt ceiling could affect student loan payments.
Now at 10, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
And first on Fox 61, a book banning controversy taking center stage in one Connecticut town. Good evening, I'm Jen Bernstein.
And I'm Ben Goldman. Thanks for joining us here at 10 tonight. Newtown School Board has decided not to remove 2 books from the high school library that contain LGBTQ+ content. Fox 61's Jake Garcia was at tonight's board meeting. He joins us live in Newtown right now to explain tonight's decision. Jake.
Well, the Newtown Board of Public Education voted not to remove the 2 books in question after weeks of debate.
Disclaimer and blankets remain in circulation in Newtown High School Library.
After weeks of divisive debate, the Newtown Board of Education voted unanimously to keep a pair of books that many called controversial on the shelves. Prior to Thursday night's meeting, 2 Republican board members resigned from the Board of Education, citing safety concerns for their family after the May 16th meeting had moments of physical outbursts toward board members. The president of the Connecticut Library Association says the 2 books, which contain LGBTQ+ content causing the debate, are rarely checked out at the high school library.
There are 2 titles. One has been checked out once fairly recently, and the other one was not checked out at all since it has been in the library.
During the half-hour public comment, only one was in support of removing the books. The students we spoke to say the board made the right decision and listened to students.
I'm happy that the books are staying, and I hope that this trend will continue.
With the decision made, students hope the community can begin to unite.
I'm happy we came to a decision finally. You know, this has been a very heavy toll on the community. I've never seen the Newtown so divided and stressed about such a heavy decision, frankly.
Students hope this heated debate makes way for changes in the future.
I kind of wish we would be able to just, change the way the system and book challenges work, because this is not conducive. This isn't going to help the community. It's just more of a waste of public money and resources.
Now, before adjourning tonight, the Board of Education expressed interest in creating a policy that would lay out a roadmap of how to proceed in the future when these types of situations occur. Now, as for the 2 vacancies on the board, the Newtown Republican Committee will have 45 days to appoint 2 individuals until a special election in November. Live in Newtown, Jake Garcia, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Jake, thank you very much. We want to turn to the forecast now, and the heat is on.
Yeah, one more day left of this major summer heat. Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank joining us now. Hi, Rach.
Yeah, we got a little taste of it outside today, didn't we? Temperatures in the 80s to around 90 degrees, and I think we'll be a few degrees warmer heading into the day tomorrow. We'll even take a run at the daily record high temperature for the Hartford area, but the heat will end with a bang tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening with scattered showers and thunderstorms. That'll be as a cold front sags down from the north, ushering in sharply cooler temperatures heading into the weekend. Temperatures dropping some 20+ degrees. You can see that front and the showers that accompany it to the north right now. Right now, we're looking at temperatures in the mid-60s to right around 70 degrees. It won't be as cool tonight as it has been the last few nights and following mornings. Overnight lows on either side of the 60-degree mark. We're dry during the morning tomorrow, but anytime after lunch, there'll be a rising chance for some scattered showers and thunderstorms. Some of those could pack a punch with some small hail and gusty winds. Here's a look at high temperatures before we get there, though. Low to mid 80s at the shoreline, upper 80s to right around 90 degrees for inland Connecticut. It's another roaster before those temperatures sag back down again this weekend. We have made changes to the weekend forecast. It's looking a bit drier. We'll explain coming up.
All right, Rachel, we will see you then. Thank you. And new at 10, a setback in the plans to develop the area around Duncan Park in Hartford. A judge halting the development near the Yard Goats Stadium. It's the latest in a legal battle that's been going on for several years. Fox 61's Gabby Molina joins us live in downtown Hartford tonight with the latest on this case. Gabby.
Jen, the plan is to redevelop what's currently a parking lot that I'm standing in front of Duncan Park into apartments and storefronts that would basically connect this area to downtown, which is just a few blocks away. But this latest setback is part of a legal battle that goes back to even before this ballpark was here. Plans to bring new life to the area around Duncan Park put on pause again.
Unfortunate that we've hit this hiccup, but it's a hiccup, and these things happen in the world of development.
A judge ruling this week that development can't continue until a new trial is complete between the original developer of Duncan Park and the city of Hartford. It all goes back to 2016, when the city fired Centerplan and Dono Hartford from the construction project of the park after not meeting the deadline for it to be completed. A year later, the city fired them from the project to redevelop the surrounding area, too. At the time, Mayor Luke Bronin said it was due to, quote, a lack of capacity and experience, compounded by a lack of honesty and transparency. The developers filed a lawsuit against the city, which the city won in 2019. But the state Supreme Court has ordered a new trial, which isn't set to take place until 2024, meaning for now, the future of the development is up in the air.
The lawsuit and what we've got going on is a temporary slowdown. It's not stopping anything. It's just causing us to look at things a little differently for a moment.
David Griggs, president and CEO of the Metro Hartford Alliance, says the plans to transform what's currently parking lots into housing and storefronts will help connect the downtown area to the ballpark.
It's not a question of if it will happen, it is a question of when it will happen.
Hartford residents want to make sure that when it does happen, it not only seeks to bring in people from other towns, but is inclusive of those already living in the city.
Yeah, I get it. We want income coming into Hartford, but it got to be for all of us, not just for some of us. They want to build shops, but who are the shops for?
In a statement, Mayor Luke Bronin said in part, "We are carefully reviewing the decision and we will determine if there are immediate steps we can take to allow the development of the parcels to go forward while we prepare for a new trial in 2024. A lawyer representing the developer said they're pleased with the judge's decision and that Dono successfully competed for the development rights for those parcels and is just as ready, willing, and able to proceed with the development today as it was then. Again, it's unclear how long this development is going to be on pause for. That trial is scheduled for next year, so it could be even longer than that. Live in Hartford, Gabby Molina, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Gabby, thank you. New at 10 tonight, an arrest warrant shedding new details tonight on a former Waterbury City official charged in a hit and run that seriously injured a 17-year-old boy. According to that new warrant, police say John Egan had 16 alcoholic drinks before allegedly hitting that teen last Friday and then driving off. 17-year-old Brian Kaye was hit while riding his scooter on West Main Street. He's still at Connecticut Children's Medical Center tonight, where he remains on a ventilator. Police say that Egan had been drinking over roughly 10 hours, first ordering 14 alcoholic beverages at Verde Restaurant and Bar, and then driving to a place called The Cave and ordering 2 more beers. His attorney speaking with us tonight about the effort to get Kaye's parents here from Ecuador to be with their son.
He's in extremely critical condition. He's on a ventilator, severe swelling in his brain. His prognosis is not good. The doctors have been really asking that the parents get here as quickly as possible. They really need the parents here to make decisions about his care and moving forward.
The Kaye family has set up a GoFundMe page to help with their travel expenses and any other expenses that may arise. Egan is out on bond tonight and he's due in court later this month.
Well, new developments tonight. More than 2 months after a hit-and-run crash killed a high school basketball coach, police have made an arrest. 41-year-old Jamuse Workman of West Hartford is now facing charges. Workman is accused of hitting Kendall May on Main Street on March 31st and leaving the scene. Prince Tech basketball coach Kendall May was killed during that. Workman is being held on $100,000 bond. He's set to be arraigned tomorrow.
Well, new at 10 tonight, a driver is safe this evening after their vehicle went off the Laurel Hill Bridge and into the Thames River. It happened around 5:30 this morning. Norwich firefighters say the driver got out of the car by themselves and then swam to the shore. That driver was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Crews are working to remove the vehicle and now inspect the bridge.
And today at the Capitol, 57 people were arrested in an act of civil disobedience. It comes as long-term caregivers and group home workers are on strike, demanding pay increases and better benefits in the state budget. Workers marched into an intersection near the Capitol building around 1 this afternoon and sat down in the road. Hartford police claim they issued several warnings before arresting the demonstrators who stayed in the road. Officers say they did not use handcuffs or zip ties. Some state lawmakers joined the strikers and want to say that they want more money for the caregivers in the budget.
We are making steps this year, but the steps we're making do not go far enough. We do need a moral budget. We need to support the work you do that supports all the people of Connecticut. And I'm disappointed by what I'm hearing and what might come out of this budget, but please know we're in there, we are fighting, we are championing, because we know that we need to do better.
The SEIU union president says those arrested are free tonight and will have to appear in court in a few weeks.
Well, the state's minimum wage went up today from $14 to $15 an hour. This is the final raise guaranteed in legislation passed back in 2019, when the minimum wage was just $10.10 an hour. Starting next year, the minimum wage will be adjusted based on the Federal Employment Cost Index. The state says for the first time in Connecticut, the minimum wage will grow according to the economy.
Also at the Capitol today, state leaders marked the passing of the first assault weapons ban in Connecticut 30 years ago. Some lawmakers say the bill paved the way for other states to pass similar laws since then. But more still needs to be done to protect Connecticut residents. A new bill introduced this year encourages safe gun storage, tries to protect domestic violence victims, limits ghost guns, and bans open carry. Governor Ned Lamont says all of these are current and pressing issues.
The world changes, and we've got to maintain our gun safety laws so they're current to what's going on right now. That's why we have a bill in front that's passed with strong bipartisan support in the House.
The bill still needs to be passed by the General Assembly, and lawmakers say they believe they have enough support to get it through before the legislative session ends next week.